Big Herc916, positivity, motivation. I was just sitting back having a conversation with one of my good friends, and we were talking about how the education system is set up to control the masses. And I just want to break a few things down to you to kind of make you think about when you were in school and what you were taught. Now, I haven't had the pleasure of having a child in school, so I don't know if they still do this, but when I was a child, they had an aptitude test that you took in elementary school in the public school system. Now, that aptitude test was to figure out how many prisons to build in the future, mainly for poor minorities, which, based on their test scores, would determine how many would have the propensity to go to prison based on their ignorance and potential for learning. Now, I always thought the aptitude test, looking at it objectively, was to determine what classroom you would be in, whether it was in the gifted and talented program or maybe in just the average classes. That's what it used to be for. Now, I don't know what they use it for now, but after hearing that from my good friend, it made me think. America does have the largest prison population, and in certain states, they have more prisons than schools. Interesting. The principal is the warden. Teachers are the COs. The structure of the school system is based on bells, and classrooms are like cells. They also tell when and where you can go, and if you can go when you want to go. You need a hall pass to go to the bathroom, small lockers like prison for your state-owned property of school books, which are filled with lies and misinformation. Hall monitors, aka other kids, are trained to be snitches, and detention after school is like the shoe. All to condition kids in public schools into normalizing prisons for economic benefit. That's deep, man. He went deep on that one. And when I compare public schools to private schools and how private schools have a more open policy and the kids learn differently, it makes a lot of sense. You are conditioned through the school schedule to basically grow up to be somebody's employee. Slave contract. Not slave in the sense where they got a whip on you, but slave in a sense where they got an economic stranglehold on you where you can't ever really get ahead. You make enough to pay your mortgage, pay your car note, pay your bills if you're lucky, maybe pay off part of your school loan, maybe save up a little bit for your children's college fund, maybe go on a 2-week vacation once a year, and maybe buy your wife something nice. Your typical job, even with a college education, is not structured for you to get rich. And public schools do not teach you how to get rich or wealthy. Rich is maybe being able to buy something. Wealthy is when your grandkids are able to buy something off of what you made. And have you ever thought about all the misinformation in the public school books now that you're grown and you learn more about the Emancipation Proclamation, about Christopher Columbus was a buster, about the indigenous blacks that lived here before they brought over slaves, about Cecil Rhodes, the Cecil Rhodes scholarship they have, and he was an opium dealer, about the gangsters that came over here and ran the Native Americans out, but yet we come up with a holiday called Thanksgiving. It's all lies, man. All lies. Lies that condition you. If your whole existence is built on a lie, how are you ever going to get to the truth? Private schools is way different. They teach kids to use their imagination and use different techniques for learning. The elites think differently. They teach their kids how to learn, how to succeed, how to make long-term financial decisions. In short, they are taught how money works. Private schools teach kids to use their imagination and use different techniques for learning. You learn how to build self-confidence and run a business, possibly taking over a family business in the future, or how to start your own business. The homie was he was on point, man. Everything he was telling me, I had to just kick back and absorb because it makes so much sense, because we were talking about his younger child that he's going to be putting in private school, and having had exposure to both worlds, we both talk about just the differences in what we've seen, and having dealt with people who went to private schools, and then what we see with the kids in the public schools. Big contrast. But if you don't have $35,000 a year to put your kid through a private school, you hit. The kids I see in inner city LA running around in these schools that look like mini prisons, what are their odds, man? What are they being exposed to? You talking about competition? Ain't no competition, man. I have friends whose kids are in private school, and the type of stuff that they were talking about at some of their school functions and these yacht parties and these young entrepreneur programs, whole nother level, man. Whole nother level. Public school system, you are taught how to go find a job and work for the elite who run and own businesses and know how to manage people, resources, and money for long-term benefit, and pay workers chump change, but enough to keep them coming back to work. Yeah, man. Me and my friend, man, we have some deep conversations, and he broke it down to a T. And a lot of similarities between public schools and prisons. Take the time to see how they're teaching these kids now this backwards math, how they're trying to confuse them. Kids don't even know who they are at this point, let alone trying to do their homework on social media, the peer pressure, the anxiety, the fear of not fitting in, the depression. If you got a child out there and you're raising a child, make an effort to take part in their education, building their self-confidence, and having conversations with them daily, because they're your future, man. If you can't afford to send your kid to private school, you're gonna have to put in that work. because the gap is widening. Hey, something to think about. Big Herc916. This video is brought to you by Amato Enterprise, the best in TV mounting in the Phoenix, Arizona area. They build TV walls, over the fireplace, ceiling mounts, all for as low as $100. Rated #1 in the Phoenix, Arizona area on thumbtack.com. For your TV mounting needs in Arizona, contact Amato Enterprise. Don't forget to stop by the Big Herc916 store and pick up a sticker for your car, or a patch, or a sticker for your laptop, or maybe a beanie, or read one of the many books that Big Herc916 has authored. You know how we do it. Hello, I'm Big Herc916. Contact me for life coaching and motivational speaking.